Reality Team TV. We back. We back. We got Cameron Bailey, aka. Tell them your rap name, my brother. Let's even do it.
Bailezzey. Yeah.
Bailezzey on the red chair. What's going on, my bro, man? Thank you for coming down, by the way. And obviously, you got your manager off the camera. Thank you for also coming down. It's a pleasure meeting you guys. Talk to me, bro, man. What's popping? What's popping in your reality?
So, thank you first of all for having me on Reality Team TV.
Oh, good, my guy.
The journey was blessed, and I'm thankful to be here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what's popping? Just come down here today to hopefully speak to you and hopefully speak to the people about
100%.
myself, what we're doing, and how we're going to elevate into the future.
Yeah. So, obviously, I want you to lead the conversation, obviously, and then I'll just be like, obviously, behind you, trying to obviously just, navigate this conversation as well, yeah? Like, what do you want to touch on first? Your music or obviously your passion for running?
I think we'll start with the music.
Let's go, bro.
Because that came first.
Let's go, my brother.
So,
yeah.
It weren't a music from birth type of thing, but I was in sort of year 6, so I was 10, 11 years old. And at that time, I've had a good relationship with my family, so they put me onto sort of music that they would listen to. So growing up, I was listening to a lot of Elvis Presley, Elton John, Beatles, ABBA, and that was the kind of music that I was familiar with up until the age of about 10 or 11.
Yeah.
Until one of my mates come to me and said, "Yo, have you heard of Eminem?" I was like, "Nah."
The real fucking Slim Shady.
Slim Shady.
Come on.
And we was doing this little gig at school, and he said, "Yeah, you be Eminem, I'll be John Lennon, and we'll do this little parody."
Okay. Yeah.
So he did it, and I didn't know who Eminem was, but I saw a picture of him. I knew he was American,
Yeah.
so I put on an American accent and I did it. And then at that time, Recovery had dropped. Love the Way You Lie was out on the radio.
Good album, man.
And I said to
Couple
my
of
mum,
good
I was
choices,
like, "Oh, this is Eminem.
Yeah.
Can I get his CD?"
Oh shit.
She's like, "Yeah."
Oh, yeah, big up your mum, because obviously, a lot of mums who obviously probably knew like Eminem's music. A lot of mums would have said, "Fuck no, like you're going crazy. Have you heard what that guy says? You get me?" So,
Well, that's the thing.
Big up to your mum, man.
That's the thing, because we bought the CD,
Yeah.
and I said, "Can we play it in the car?" I was with my little sister.
Yeah.
She said, yeah. We put it in. Cold Wind Blows is track number 1. We got to track 3, and the CD was out of the car, back in the shop, because of what he was saying.
Yeah, I knew.
But she replaced it with a Dizzy Rascal CD.
Fair enough, fair exchange.
I'll take that. So I got the best of both worlds. And later down the line, I bought the CD anyway.
Yeah.
But that was my first taste of Eminem. And I was like, whoa, what is this music? This is incredible. And then my older brother started sending me 50 Cent and things like that. And I went into secondary school and I heard In the Club for the first time. And I was just mind blown. You know when you get goosebumps?
Yeah.
And you listen to music. That was it for me. I was like, wow, this is rap music. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's nothing like I've ever heard before. So I just become a fan of the music, and I was listening to it, and I got into the game and Lloyd Banks, G Unit, that sort of thing.
Yeah, the whole squad.
And then moved on into sixth form,
Yeah.
and some geezer was making raps, and we was all sitting there like, "All right, mate, okay, cool." And he said, "Do you want to have a go?" I was like, "Yeah, go on then."
Yeah.
Go on then. So I had a go.
You have to start off somewhere, innit? Yeah.
And that was it. That was basically it.
Yeah.
Started making songs, did a little show,
Yeah. Keep talking.
and yeah, did a little show,
Yeah.
and I was literally there. And after the performance, I left with the biggest smile on my face. And once again, it was a feeling that I'd never experienced, performing live at an event in front of lots of people. And I was like, yeah, I want to do this.
Yeah. Like, you know that obviously when you first started, did you write, some people obviously say I wrote my own bars, or some people say I spat somebody else's bars, innit? So what, did you write your own lyrics, or you spat somebody else's?
Yeah, so I wrote my own lyrics, and then at the show that we did,
Yeah.
We called it The Shutdown.
The Shutdown.
Yeah, The Shutdown.
Come on.
We did a few covers as well. So we, at the time, Stormzy Big For Your Boots was out. So we did that, and I think we did Candy Shop as well, along with a few others.
Yeah. Okay. And fast forward from there, yeah? What started happening in terms of obviously you picking up this music bug, innit? Did you say like at that moment you fell in love with actually music, and you said to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna do it?
Yeah, I left that show, my first ever show, buzzing, the biggest smile on my face, thinking this is it, I've found it.
Yeah.
And then it sort of tailed off. Didn't do music for a couple of years, but I was always writing notes. I was always rhyming in the book.
Yeah.
And back in then 2019, one of my friends, Jam One, come up to me with some beats, old school hip hop beats, and that's how it started again. Started to pick it up, started investing in the equipment, and we've been building ever since to bring us to where we are today. So
Yeah.
we've got quite a few accolades under the belt now, you know, performed at a lot of venues across London, and I'm really looking forward to what the future holds.
Like, when I speak to a lot of music artists, obviously, everybody in this room, we're consumers, we consume different music, right? And obviously, the music market, I'm not sure how much attention, obviously, you guys are paying to it right now. It's going through like a unique transaction, like, whatever the word is, you get me? It's going through like a unique phase, like a unique kind of period, for me anyway.
Yeah.
Meaning, like, I feel like the UK music scene, I feel like even music in general all over the world, like, you know, like, every time there's like, you know, new stars coming through, new music artists coming through in every country, like in every genre, yeah? And I feel like right now, the same thing's happening, just like there's that big gap. If we just stick into the UK, I feel like right now there's that big gap in the UK where it's like, we need, obviously Central C was the last biggest thing to obviously come out the UK, innit?
Yeah.
And I feel like right now, there's that gap right now where it's like, yeah, like a new artist, female, male, whatever, new artists, you get me, like, need to come out or should come out, innit?
Yeah.
Like, in terms of like, obviously you entering the music industry, business-wise, or even just enjoying like the music that you make in general, yeah? Like, what are you looking to get from the music industry? And also, do you feel like you're definitely one of the people that the music game is missing in terms of like your uniqueness?
Yeah, so I 100% agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Central C, yeah, probably is the last most successful artist to come out of the UK. He's done a fantastic job. I mean, I would class him as a drill artist. I don't know what you would think about that, but drill has been prominent for a long time now, I think. You know, we had the grime scene, 2015 maybe, JME and all that.
Yeah.
And then it moved on to drill with sort of 6-7, and now we're here with...
Big up 6-7,
yeah,
by the way.
Yeah. Now we're here with, you know, we had Dave come through, gigs, been here for a long time. And I think drill is still prominent, but like you say, it's time for something new.
Yeah.
My personal view on the situation is I really enjoy listening to drill music. Like when I'm out on a workout, there's nothing better than that drill to get you through the workout.
Yeah.
But I believe there's a lot of young kids out there that are taking drill the wrong way, especially where I come from, predominantly white area. There's a lot of kids out there that think drill is their reality, and I'm here to sort of show them that it ain't, you know, and you don't have to pretend to be something, you know, to be cool, to be hot. You can just be yourself, because that's more unique and that's what's important. So I think there are a lot of young kids out there that are banging drill, and I don't disregard them for that because I do the same thing. But it's using it in the right context. It's understanding what people are saying, why the music's being made, and but then also being confident enough in yourself to decide, right, I'm going to take that music and use it for this. But let's be real, I'm going to look at my situation. This ain't who I am. I like to jump into it,
Yeah.
but let me create my own wave, and that's kind of where I'm at with my music. Is I take inspiration from people like Bugsy Malone, Avellino, but I'm also myself. I write my own lyrics, and for some people it might come across in one way, for some people it might come across in another way, and that's up for the listener to decide. And at the end of the day, the listener's always right, whether you believe that or not.
Nah, it's true. Even one of the things I want to talk about as well, we need to remember, all of us, we've been young at one point, innit? And obviously, you know, all of us, when you're young, touching on the brain, innit? Like, mentally, we're all developing. To be fair with you, some of us are still mentally fucking developing when you think about it, innit? So, all of these little young youths that are coming through, I think, what we need to remember as well is, like, they're, in terms of, like, naive, easily influenced and whatever, they're just finding themselves out, you get me? So some of them listening to drill and thinking, oh, maybe I should do this, or just kind of following whatever's going on. I just feel like for a lot of them, maybe not all of them, because obviously we've got some young kids who are, for whatever reason, they're mentally like advanced already, innit? But I think for a lot of young youths, I think it's just one of them ones where they're finding themselves, they're just going through what typical young kids are going through anyway. And for a lot of them, because I've got 3 kids as well, and watching all of my kids, I know that all of them are going through their own personal journey, and at one point they're gonna get to a point where they discover themselves, innit, and what they wanna do and who they are. And a lot of these little young, you know, let me even not say the word, but a lot of these little young kids or whatever, like hopefully, like the older they get and finding themselves, they'll get to a point and realize, you know what, fuck the drill thing, it's not really for me. Or they'll outgrow it and start really finding out, you know, doing work on themselves.
And to touch
yeah,
on
kind
that,
of, yeah.
I have a hypothesis. Right?
Hypothesis, I fucking love that word.
And
Yeah, go on.
basically, I believe people are kids for longer. So what I mean by that is,
Yeah, that's a good take, by the way.
like I said, my granddad was born on Broad Lane, just down here.
Yeah.
His generation would have grown up, gone to school, left school about 15 years old, straight into the workforce. Fast forward to our generation and the one coming soon. They're being born, going to school, they have to stay on to college or sixth form until they're 18, and then majority of them go to university. I personally didn't go to university myself, but majority of people do. So that's at least 3 years, that's 18, 19, 20, 21. Few people stay on for extra years, placements, etc. So
Yeah.
you could be 24, 25 before you go into the working world. You could take a gap year. You could be 25 years old before you've actually experienced what we'd call the real, well, I'd call the real world.
Yeah.
That's a 10-year gap between what somebody was seeing at 15 to what they're seeing at 25. So I believe, from my experience being in the working world from 17, it's taken me a few years to understand the working world and what happens in the real world.
In the real reality.
So now what I'm seeing is people that are 24, 25 years old stepping into this new world, adjusting. They hit 30 and then they realise what they want to do and where they're at and where they stand. They stop following the trends. And I think there's a huge delay in how people are actually accepting who they are as a person rather than just conforming. Because, you know, from my experience of visiting universities, people are very much like a herded culture. Not everybody, there's a lot of people out there that go out here and do their thing, and fair play to them for doing that. But yeah, people are kids for longer, and I think that is a detriment to us as a society. But I think to counteract that,
Yeah.
we have all this technology to really be who we want to be, and my message is to just to continue to do that. You know,
Yeah.
go out there, do what you want to do, find what you want to do. Don't be afraid to fail as well. You know,
Yeah.
I think that's
What do
important.
you think about the times that we're living in at the moment? Quick random question here. You touched on technology, innit?
Yeah.
Because again, I feel like I thought anyway, like with these fucking gadgets, like the world was gonna be better, more people are gonna be more woke, more information because we've got everything that we need within our palms, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like fucking society and just humans are fucking going even more backwards. That's why even like the older I get slowly, I'm starting to fall in love even more with pets, with animals, because I feel like fucking some
Yeah.
animals are even more intelligent than human beings.
Yeah.
Like, what are your thoughts about like these times that we're living in, about humans and about the technology, just in general? Like, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, so we've never
Yeah.
had it easier, right?
Yeah.
I'm reading a book at the moment called Comfort Crisis, and he talks a lot about this, and I recommend people to read the book because it talks about the evolution of humans.
Yeah.
And how we are, in this generation, through evolution, the pinnacle, the peak of human, you know, existence. Through all the trials and tribulations that our ancestors have been through, we are products of that. So we have all the ability to do whatever we want, really. We're the apex predators, you know, nobody can touch us. We've dominated the globe. Because of that, we're now, you know, we're derelict. We don't really have any threats. I could sit here and live my life. You know, I could order my food to me. I could work from my sofa.
Crazy.
I could sleep on the sofa or sleep in my bed.
Crazy.
I could do whatever I want to do. I could watch TV. I could keep up to date with the world news. I don't even have to leave my door.
Yeah.
And because of that, we're not moving as much. And I'm a firm believer that, you know, exercise is mental as well as physical.
Yeah.
So it's important to train your mind, train your body, and it's not about putting yourself in uncomfortable situations all the time, but it's just about saying, you know, let me try this, let me try that, and being brave, because it's too easy now with technology to go within yourself. You know, we can very much now either just not post online and just be an observer, or we can post a perception of us online where in reality we're broken inside. So I think it's about acknowledging who you are, what you want to do, and moving on from there. So I think technology, in my personal opinion, is an absolute blessing. We can do so many things. You know, if it weren't for technology, we probably wouldn't be in this room right now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it is a blessing, and I think you need to be able to utilise it, because let's be real, it's only going to get more and more detailed, the technology that we use.
Yeah.
So let's embrace it, but let's also train ourselves and coach people on how to use technology when it's to be used and when it's time to turn it off. You know, so I'll try and cut out technology at least half an hour before I go to bed, and then I'll read a book, because that shuts me down, and then I sleep well. Because I think they're the most important things you've got to think about is your health, your sleep, your diet.
Yeah.
So I think technology is a good thing. It just needs to be used with respect.
I hear you, my bro. And going back to your music, yeah?
Yeah.
Before obviously we move forward with your running and other things, yeah? Like, do you believe you've got thick skin?
Yeah, I do.
And the reason why I say that, obviously, like, everybody knows if you really want to take this music thing seriously, to be fair, a lot of industries are quite the same, but sticking to the music industry, obviously, especially when you get to the business side of things and certain things like that, you know, like, we've heard it so many times with different people, and that this industry can fucking chew you out and spit you out, yeah? If you're not, either business-wise, if you're not on your shit, and also if you don't have thick skin in terms of, like, you know, like, not giving a fuck about what certain people think, or certain things that are going to happen to you along the way, right? Talk to us. You say you got thick skin, yeah? Have you always been like that, or obviously you're a work in progress? You're still kind of like slowly working on yourself in terms of like having
I've never always
thick skin?
had thick skin. So as a young kid, 7, 8 years old, I used to play football. And I played football up until I was sort of 17, 18.
Yeah?
And I used to play midfield until one day the goalie said, I don't want to go and goal anymore.
Yeah.
I said, I'll go and goal. And I happened to be okay, pretty good. So they said, oh, do you want to stay in goal? I said, yeah, I'll try it out. Through that, I had trials at Watford Academy, and I remember going there and hating it. It wasn't what I was used to. You know, I used to go to play football with my friends, have a laugh, and all of a sudden I was in here and I was getting shouted at. I was being told to do this, told to do that. You know, stern faces. This is the reality of football. This is what it's like. I didn't like it, so I didn't go any further with it. Fast forward a few years, I trained with Brentford. Again, same sort of feeling. And then I actually signed a contract with Luton Town as a goalkeeper for 2 years, I believe. And I was 13 at the time. And I remember going on trial, played very well. My unique ability was my footwork. So I was able to bring the ball in from the back and distribute it out. That was what I was good at, especially with short range passing. And they said to me, do you want to come and tour to Italy? You know, I played 2 games for them. I said, yeah, we'll go. And that was tough for me because I was a very shy kid growing up. But we did it, and I played okay, well enough to sign a contract. It meant that I used to miss a day of school every week, and I would focus on training 3-4 times a week with a game on a Saturday. And from where I live to Luton is about a 50-minute drive.
Okay.
So we was doing that 3, 4, 5 times a week. An away game might be at Northampton or Leighton Orient or somewhere like that. You might get an Exeter away sometimes. That was the name of the game. But I used to have intense anxiety before matches. So I used to hate playing, and the team sheet would come out and I'd be starting. But we had 2 goalies, so I'd only do 45 minutes. And I was like, oh, thank God I'm only doing 45 minutes.
Where did that anxiety come from? Because usually I played football, by the way. I went semi-pro in it, and obviously a lot of us we love it, innit? Like we play football, we get the buzz, especially when you're on the field, innit? So, like, with that anxiety that you're talking about, where did that anxiety come from?
I think it was my self-belief. I didn't believe I had the ability to be there, and it was, if a mistake is made, I would take it upon myself.
Okay.
And then I became scared of making mistakes, and then you play cagey and you're awkward, and that's where the performances started to dip. Yeah, and it takes away from, in terms of, like, obviously the freedom of your game, innit? Because you want, mentally, anything that you do once again, you want to try to keep your mind as free as possible, innit? Yeah. So I got released from there at maybe 15, and I played at a couple local clubs and slowly worked my way down the football ladder, so to speak, until I just stopped altogether. And I was probably about 18 years old at that time. Yeah. And that's when my music started to pick up. So that's when I was writing notes, and that's why music is a therapy to me, because it was sort of coming out of that moment into the next. And I had all these notes here, the beats started coming my way, so I started to put my voice to that. Yeah. And I was an angry kid, to be honest, at that sort of age. I was frustrated at my situation. I think I was frustrated with myself, but I was also looking for something. I couldn't quite work out what it was. Music was that way of opening myself up and being who I wanted to be, because I think I've learned that I'm actually an introvert, and I perform better as a solo artist, let's say. I do work in groups, but compared to a team sport, I actually prefer having the onus on me. Because a lot of times I'll be in a game and you know, your centre back cocks up, and then you look at you like, oh, the blame game. I hate the blame game.
Especially if you play someone like on side.
Yeah.
Because obviously at the back you're meant to try anyway your best, to keep the back line in it, and obviously push up together or defend. You know how it goes, and obviously imagine keeping.
And that's where the politics comes in, because everybody's trying to go for a contract. So it's never your mistake, you know. Even if it wasn't my fault, you know. And I hated that sort of culture. I was like, just own who you are, and at least when you're a solo artist like I am, it's all on you. It's all on you,
and it's like you kind of also like, it's like, even though obviously you need other people in terms of obviously like embracing you or whatever, but it's like when you play, what I realize about football, everybody knows, innit, who likes football. When you play football, it's like you're always relying, excuse my French by the way, you're always relying on this motherfucker called a coach to
pick you,
the manager or coaches to fucking pick you, and man, it's crazy.